email. Telstra's Big Bang splits the company in two as 8,000 jobs go. Will it work? By business reporter Stephen Letts, updated June 20, 2018, 15:38 and 59 seconds p. Photo. Telstra isn't just shrinking under Andy Penn, it has sized itself into AAP. Dean Lewin's related story. We are creating a new Telstra 8,000 jobs slashed but shares slammed. Map. Australia. It is Telstra's Big Bang, a revolution far in excess of what was expected. However, judging by Market's initial reaction, Telstra chief executive Andy Penn was left holding the hand grenade as he threw the pin at the company's eagerly anti-cheaper TED Strategy Day. Brokers were swamped with sell orders even before the US opened. Shares tumbled by around 5% in a broader market heading wrongly in the other direction. That is another $1.7 billion in value vaporized, bringing the total paper loss to almost $40 billion since Mr. Penn took over almost 3 years ago, a period during which the share price has more than halved. External link. Telstra timeline. Shrinking to grow is a say very much in vogue in business at the moment. Telstra is not only shrinking, destroying shareholder value is not. It has sized itself into the slashing jobs and the products it will sell. This cost-cutting has not been done with surgical precision. Mr. Penn has taken the chainsaw out. 8,000 jobs, or 1 in every 4 workers, are slated for the exit in the next 4 years. That is way ahead of what now appears to be a timorous 800 jobs shed in the past 2 years. The cuts are aimed at lopping 30% of the labor costs out of the company. It is nothing new at Telstra, where staff numbers have been cut nearly every year for more than a decade. By 2022, Telstra will have fewer than half the jobs it had 10 years ago. External link. Telstra staff numbers. Any winners? With staff fretting about their futures and investors angry as well, has Mr. Penn pleased anyone in He's short-term at least? He's hoping consumers will jump aboard his new streamlined product line, stripping down the number of plans on offer from 180 to just 20 and eliminating such frustrations as excess data charges will either cost the company or, depending on your perspective, Mr. Penn said at lost $500 million would be offset by new customers flooding in the doors. Gift customers around $500 million a year. That downward pressure on prices is very much behind the share market rout. Well, that's the plan. Telstra's earnings guidance fell well below where the market thought it would be. Telstra's call on pre-tax earnings next year is between $8.7 and $9.4 billion. The market had penciled in $10.5 billion. That's largely due to Penn's gloomy forecast of an ongoing decline in the mobile market, with revenues tipped to fall by up to 3% next year. So rather than focus on a post-2022 world where the NBN is fully rolled out as Mr. Penn had hoped, predictably short-termism prevailed through the hours of management speak. At the strategy day, it appears the market only heard its preconceived idea that all Telstra's business was under an intense structural pressure it could do little about. So what is the big picture? The productivity increases announced today are targeted to increase annual savings by another $1 billion on top of the $1.5 billion program announced 2 years ago. Saving the $2.5 billion is intended to mitigate the $3 billion NBN revenue black hole Mr. Penn identified 2 years ago. Telstra. A peak pessimism. Telstra shares have been smashed over recent years, but are they finally nearing air bottom? Faced with NBN's massive disruption to Australia's telecommunications market, Telstra has massively disrupted itself and its legacy business. At face value, the plan ticked a lot of the boxes the market wanted. The extra $1 billion cost-cutting was right at the top end of expectations. Promise to lead in the 5 grams mobile rollout. Fixing up the cumbersome offering of products. Separating the infrastructure business from operations and potentially boosting shareholder equity by up to 50% was a surprise. Splitting the company into the most radical yet perhaps obvious idea tabled by Mr. Penn was the split. While it means next to nothing for Telstra's customers, it could yet be the plan that pulls the company out of a steady march downhill. The so-called InfraCo will be a substantial business in itself. $11 billion in assets, sales of $5.5 billion and pre-tax earnings of around $3 billion. On JP Morgan numbers, it could boost shareholder value by up to 50%, but not for some time. It will sit inside Telstra, albeit as a separate company, at least until the NBN rollout is completed in 2022. After that, it might be spun out, it might seek a co-investor, and in time it might be well positioned to have a crack at buying a privatized NBN. It is also a development that would more than tweak the federal government's interest. It would love to get rid of the $74 billion broadband ballast it has, weighing down its political fortunes and alive are an outcome that should have been delivered at the outset of the NBN. So while workers and investors may be ruining Telstra's Big Bang announcement, the likely legacy of Mr. Penn's plan is not likely to be known for years. Topics: Company news. Telecommunications. Stock market. Australia first posted June 20, 2018, 13:31 and 28 seconds, well after he has left the company.